The world has changed much, sets us up well for the new world order.
All the government across the world have now decided to create a new world order. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what new world order is, it basically used to be a conspiracy theory where some of the major nations around the world and their leaders combined forces together in order to create a one government and eliminate all different governments from the world. So basically, there's not going to be different nations, different countries. It's all just going to combine into one single government, which is ruled by just one ruler. Now, I know this sounds a lot like what we have seen from the biblical prophecies of the end times. And if you are not aware of this, well, the Bible already says that this is something that will take place during the end times, where all the government of the world is going to combine their forces and become just one government, and there will be one ruler that's going to rise up and he's going to rule the entire world. And this person is going to be the Antichrist.
News. Canada reached China after cutting ties with the United States. Canada has just announced a new strategic partnership with China, including security issues. Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, arrived Beijing for an important meeting with President Xi. This meeting marks the first visit by a Canadian leader to China in 8 years and is seen as a reset in bilateral ties after years of tension. In this meeting, Prime Minister Carney made a huge announcement. He said, "The partnership with China sets us up well for the New World Order," which is quite a big statement.
That's what I'm talking about. He literally mentions New World Order. The word is literally described right here, and they're not even hiding about this stuff anymore. Watch what he has to say.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
That's it, man.
Breaking news.
It's right here. It's literally right into our faces. They're making it very clear that their objective is basically to create the new world order. And that's pretty much it. Now take a look at the difference between what the Canadian president has to say back in 2025, April 17th, and just a few months later, now he has decided to go ahead and side with China, and they are now creating what is known as the New World Order. There's a massive, massive changes right here. Take a look at this.
Security threat to China, Canada's China.
We're heartened by the leadership of President Xi Jinping and the speed with which our relationship has progressed in recent months. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
So basically, it's very clear that they've been talking to each other. Other countries that I would definitely think about is obviously going to be Russia, because Russia and China, they are basically combining forces. And at the same time, there's also this massive, massive army that is being created called the BRICS nation. Now, in the Bible, it already describes that there will be a massive millions of soldiers that are going to be standing near the Armageddon battlefield where the final battle is going to take place. Now, for many years, we were always wondering, there is absolutely no nation out there that possesses this many amount of soldiers in order to fight a war. So how is this even possible? Well, the answer to that is basically that it's possible if all nations are combining together. So the massive nations like China, India, with the amount of population and the amount of ground troops that they possess, it is very much possible if they combine forces and fight against Israel in the Armageddon battlefield. And all of these things are prophesied in the Bible that this is supposed to happen one or the other day. And as far as what we can see, BRICS is something that is already fulfilling prophecy. And now the elites have come down and they've openly started admitting that New World Order is exactly what they're working on. The Bible definitely doesn't use the exact phrase called the New World Order, but it does have a lot of very similar reference as to what the New World Order word stands for, which is one government and one ruler. If we read multiple chapters in the Bible, Revelation chapter 13, verse 7, it says that there will be a beast who is known to be the Antichrist. And this beast, whoever this Antichrist is going to have the authority over all different tribes around the world, from different nations in different languages. All of them are going to be combined together, which basically represents the global government. And also in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 to 17, it predicts that a system where no one can buy or sell anything until or unless they are selling their souls in order to get the mark of the beast, which is very well known, which a lot of conspiracy theorists say that it could end up being this microchip which will be placed inside of your palm, which can be used in order to scan and make your payments. So I don't know in which way it's probably going to be affecting us, but it seems like the kind of technology that's advancing right now, every single microchip is able to read and write your consciousness, and it's also able to alter your consciousness as well. Taking, for example, one of the best things that we can speak about is the Elon Musk's brain implant chip that is currently going on in the process of development in the name of Neuralink. Now, this thing, this tiny little chip right here, can basically alter the things that you can think and the way that your brain functions. So it's basically just going to capture your soul, your entire identity inside of this chip. Rather than your soul traveling back to God after your death, you're basically going to be trapped inside of this chip. So that's basically what the Bible has already warned us about, the mark of the beast, which will be coming out after the New World Order takes place. And that's exactly what's going on. Now, if you go ahead and check out Daniel chapter 7, verse 23, it also speaks about the fourth kingdom on earth that will devour the whole entire earth, where it mentions that 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but will give their power and authority to this one beast. Now, this basically states that there will be many different nations, and 10 of these nations are going to combine forces together, and they're going to be the reason as to why all of the authority is being given to this one beast, the person who's known as the Antichrist, who's going to be the one ruler that will control all different governments. We don't know who that person is, but the prophecy says that during the correct time, during the end times, he will most definitely arrive. If you go down to Daniel chapter 9, verse 27, it says that there will be this one person, one nation's leader, who's basically going to create a 7 years of peace treaty with Israel. And according to the biblical prophecy, this person is going to be breaking the peace treaty within 3.5 years of the treaty being made. And this exact person is also going to be the one who will go against Israel and betray them in the end of the day, and also help them construct the third temple, which is something that the Jews have always been waiting for in order to bring back their Messiah. It is very clear that we have finally entered the days of Revelation, where we are getting close to the end times of the world, and we're getting close to the second coming of Christ as well. Because the one person that made the 7 years peace treaty with Israel was none other than Donald Trump, the president of the United States. Now, in the beginning, he was claiming that he's Christian and he follows Jesus and he needs the support of all Christians in order to win the elections or whatnot. But very soon as he became the president, he went on and declared to the world that he's no longer Christian. And he basically let everyone know that he is one of the Jewish presidents, and he's now basically a Jew, and his daughter also converted to becoming a Jew as well.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine.
And look at this stuff right here.
Now he's the first Jewish president to serve 2 not consecutive presidencies.
They're basically saying that he's the first ever Jewish president who's able to serve 2 different countries, who's able to serve as a president for 2 different nations, which he's basically talking about him being the president of Israel as well as the United States being a Jewish president.
We thank you for everything.
Look at that stuff.
And I will say, you know, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby.
There we go.
Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC plus 3. You have those people. Ilhan Omar. She hates Jewish people.
So it is very clear that it very much seems like our president is indeed converted into Jewish. He's no longer Christian, and he's making his faith very, very publicly available as well. And people still don't realize that the prophecies are finally coming true. And then, I don't know if Trump knows this himself, or maybe, things are happening on its own. But apparently, as far as what we can see, it most definitely does look like the end times prophecies are indeed coming true, because this is not it. This is not the only one that we are looking at. If you look around the world, Jesus already said that during the end times, you'll hear a lot of things about wars and rumors about wars. And that's exactly what's happening right now as well. And also in Daniel chapter 9, verse 27, it says that Israel will make peace treaty of 7 years. And that is also something that Donald Trump recently just made it happen, and they have signed a peace treaty. All of the Saudi nations have signed peace treaty with Israel for exactly 7 years. The peace treaty is already signed. It's already done and dusted. It's just a matter of fact of about 3.5 years. All we have to wait and watch what happens before the peace treaty is being broken. And then we have the Gog and Magog battle, which the Bible already warns us about in terms of prophecies. And in the current modern generation, Gog and Magog is usually known for modern Russia. And also the Bible says that Persia is going to make alliance with the Gog country, whereas Persia in the modern day is known as Iran, and Iran is already combining forces with Russia, and they are making alliance. So everything we know so far in terms of Gog and Magog war is already getting set up. It's just a matter of time as to when everything is going to get aligned and the battle could start any moment. Apart from this, we also have so many natural prophecies that have now officially come true as well. The first one being water turning red in color, like blood in color. And recently, just I think a month ago, the water in Israel, in Jerusalem, Galilee, turned completely red in color. Now, of course, there was a lot of reasons that was given in terms of why the water turned red in color. But at the end of the day, it is still fulfilling what the prophecy has indeed mentioned. That the Bible very, very clearly describes that River Euphrates is going to be completely dried up. And right now, it seems like 80% of River Euphrates is completely dried out for the very first time. This has never happened before. Euphrates River has never gone dry, and for the very first time, it's completely going dry, and that is also fulfilling the prophecy of the end times. Apart from that, the Bible also describes that Jesus already said that on his second coming, there will be many signs before his second coming happens, and one of the signs was that deserts will be snowing. And then there will be waters lushing out of deserts as well, from lands which are completely dry and there's absolutely no way for any sort of water to be present in those lands. That's where water will be lushing out in a very miraculous way, and it's going to fill the entire deserts and turn that into rivers. And that's also something that's been happening in Saudi Arabia and many deserts around the world. And also the prophecy says that God will show another sign where he's going to convert deserts into thick green forest. Because according to the prophecy, Saudi Arabian deserts are now completely turning into green, lush forests. And that's just one of the craziest prophecies that already came true. So there are just so many endless things that's very much just solidifying the fact that we have officially entered the end time. And now if you look at the stuff that the government is planning in order to create the new world order, in order to make this one government and one ruler, I think it's finally time, guys. I think it's time that we start repenting. I think it's time that we start sharing this message with as many people as we possibly can, so that many people will get to wake up and make their faith as strong as possible, because we are entering the final days, and it is very clear. The signs are clear, at least, released, although we don't really know the exact date and maybe timeline of when the second coming is going to happen. But the one thing that Jesus already warned us is to always keep our lamps burning and wait for your master to return. So that's one of the biggest reasons as to why I am making all of these videos, so that it could help people realize what's going on around the world. Because I don't think there are any channels out there on YouTube or any social media or even in the mainstream media where they speak about these things, where they explain these things in the most easiest way possible for viewers in order to understand on what's really going on around the world and how these things are related to biblical prophecies and how everything is being fulfilled. I think that's one of the primary missions of my channel and the things that I do right here on this channel with the content and the podcast that we do on The Woods Show. To me, this really means a lot because I'm trying to put as much work and effort in order to help people realize the truth. And even if I could save one single person that's watching this video that would come back to God, then it's going to be a massive, massive milestone for me. There's absolutely nothing in this world that would satisfy me more than basically being part of saving someone's life and their soul. So I request every single one of you guys to please just go ahead, share this video with as many people as you possibly can. And if you can't really share this video, the best thing you guys can do is simply just go ahead, drop a big fat like on this video and leave any sort of comments. It doesn't really matter. Leave any sort of positive comments, and that way YouTube algorithm gets tricked in such a way that it basically thinks that people are engaging more with the content, which means that I should start pushing out this content and showing this video to as many people as possible. So it's only possible if you guys go ahead and support these videos by taking a very few seconds of your valuable time. It's going to go a long way in order to spread faith to as many people as possible. So I hope you guys will support this venture and join the community by subscribing for absolutely free on YouTube, because subscribing on YouTube is completely free. You don't have to pay a dime, but at the same time, we're going to keep you guys updated with our daily podcast episodes covering all stuff that's going on around the world that is usually never shown in the mainstream media. That's the special stuff. So make sure to go ahead, subscribe, and leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to go ahead and read your comments, reply to as many people as I possibly can. I know that this comment session is going to be very interesting in today's episode. So I'm really looking forward for your comments. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.
If